Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today we're going to release tight muscles. So during the day it's quite common for people not to stretch. So they build up all sorts of tightness in their body around the neck and the shoulders and around the lower back, and it eventually turns into an injury. So it's important to do our stretches every day. So we're going to talk a little bit about stretching as we go through the movements. So let's sit down and start. So lifting up nice and tall through the rib cage, try not to sag in your lower back, try to lift it up. If you do need to sit on something, just do that to lift your hips up more comfortably. Okay, lower the shoulders down and let's just drop our chin slightly, soften the eyes, perhaps even close them, and start to breathe. Count to 3 as you breathe in, pause and count to 3 as you breathe out. Let's try and make the breath evenly going in and out. And breathing in, lift your arms up over your head and breathe out. Lower the hands down. Breathe in, lifting up, nice big reach, and breathe out, lowering the arms down. Let's do that 3 more times. Opening up the rib cage and lower the arms. Now this time I want you to reach up a little bit. So reaching up, stretch a little bit more and breathe out, hands to sides. Let's try that 1 more time, palms together and reaching up to the ceiling, feeling the length in the arms, around the rib cage, around the spine, and breathe out, hands going down. All right, we're going to come into a cat pose. I'm going to come down to our elbows in an elbow cat. We're going to start by extending one arm and one leg, and then lower the hand and the knee down. Extend the other arm and leg, and let's lower it down. Let's try 2 more times. So reach, breathe in, breathe out to lower. 1 more time, breathe in, breathe out to lower. Now this time we're going to extend one arm and leg, the right arm, left leg, tighten the tummy, shoulders head towards hips. Make sure you engage your back. Take 3 breaths here. Now lower your elbow down, lower your knee down. Changing sides. Extend your arm and leg, tighten the waist. Take 3 breaths. Now lower your elbow, lower your knee down, and let's lift up into a cat. This time we're going to extend our arm and leg again, but on our hands. Extend your right arm, left leg, reach, bringing the shoulders away from ears, tummy firm, chin tucked in, lengthen through the back of the neck, and reach your fingers and toes. Take 3 breaths. And then lower your hand down, lower your knee down 1 more time. Let's reach. And then lower your hand down, lower your knee down, and come into child's pose. Let's extend the arms. Now you should find a nice big stretch in the arms here. So pull the tummy up, bring the forehead down. Now if this is uncomfortable, lower your elbows down, then lift them up and try to build up some strength around your shoulders and back. So pull the tummy up, sit on your heels. Let's breathe into the back and around the shoulder blades. And lifting up back into cat. And walk your hands under your shoulders. Now we're going to draw circles sideways. So bring your hips out to the side, body forward, then out to the other side and back. So let's draw 3 circles each way. Now round the other direction. going to take a lie down on one side and just rest our head on our hand. Extend your legs and then bring them forward so your toes are lined up with the bottom corner of the mat, the bottom front corner of the mat. Okay, so make sure you're lifting up a little bit in the side. And we're going to lift the top leg to hip height and just kick forward. Breathe in, breathe out, push through the heel. Don't let those hips move forward and back. Just keep them nice and steady. Breathe in, forward, breathe out, kick back. One more time, breathe in, forwards, and breathe out. Let's kick back. Line your leg up with the other one. Let's lift and lower. Just tap down lightly. Breathe in to lift, tap down, and one more time. Breathe in to lift and tap down. Now we're going to lift both legs up. 1, 2, and 3. Then let's lift the top leg. Bottom leg taps the top. 2 and 3. Beautiful. Bring the knees in. Let's lift up and change sides. Oh, before we change sides, why don't we stretch our leg? So, the hand on the back of the leg, or bring your hand to your ankle, perhaps even hold your big toe or even your foot. Whatever is most comfortable. Draw the shoulders down, tummy in, and let's take several breaths here as we stretch our leg. Now remember, the shoulders should be away from the ears. If you're at your furthest stretch, come back 10%. So give your body time now to get into the stretch. So you might have to start a little bit softer and then just gently lifting your heel up a bit higher, just working with your body gently. So your body will ease off a little bit the longer you stay in the stretch. Let's take 3 breaths. Now let's change sides. Rest your head on your hand, extend your legs, make sure both are straight. Your bottom knee can be bent if you want. Slide those toes so they line up with the front bottom corner of the mat and lift the top leg up. Let's breathe in, point the toe, breathe out, push through the heel and just bring that leg past the hip line. It feels a little bit wobbly, but keep steady as you can. Breathe in, point forward, breathe out, little kick back, and one more time. Now line your top leg up with the bottom, lift and lower. 2 and 3. Now let's lift both legs. Lift and lower, lift and lower. One more time. Lift your top leg up now, bottom leg taps the top. Beautiful. Now we're going to stretch the top leg. So let's lift the leg up, hand behind the thigh or the calf, hold the toe or hold the foot. Now draw the shoulders down, tummy in, and let's hold our leg in this position and gently working towards stretching it. So a little bit of softness in the knee. And let's take 3 breaths here. And let's release that leg, bring it down again and roll onto the back. Let's stretch ourselves out. So breathe in, point the toes to the floor, reach the arms over the head, open the rib cage. Let's take a deep breath in and reach. And then breathe out, arms to sides, toes forward, draw your navel down and start to peel yourself up off the floor. If you can't manage that, roll to the side and sit up. Bring your feet to the end position. We're coming into a tabletop. So bring the hands behind your back and fingers point forward. Let's roll the shoulders back and open the shoulders out. So we don't want the shoulders caving in. We want to have them out so we can strengthen our back and open the chest. So we can stay here for level 1 where we're hugging our shoulder blades together and drawing them downwards. So chin to chest, most comfortable neck position, otherwise gazing diagonally up or lower your head back gently, stretching your neck. Make sure you always keep a little bit of space behind that lower part of the neck. Now level 2 tabletop. You can lift up, keep those shoulders wide and your buttocks firm. Chin to chest, or gaze up, or perhaps lower the head back. Now take 3 breaths here into the belly. The belly is from the navel to the pubic bone. Now let's take a seat. Extend your legs forward. And we're going to breathe in, lifting the arms up. Breathe out, bend forward. And then we're going to roll back down to the floor. So pull that tummy in. You can walk your hands down your legs or just lower yourself down nice and carefully. Breathe in, arms over the head. Take a big reach through your fingers and toes, big stretch, and breathe out. Hands to sides. Draw your navel down, start to peel your vertebrae off the floor, back up into that seated position. This time we're going to do a reverse plank. So hands behind the back, fingers pointing forward. Let's start off with level 1. Bend the knee and place the foot, one foot in the end position. Lift the hips up and bring the other toes towards the floor. Chin to chest or gaze diagonally up or lower your head back. Let's take a nice big breath here. Change legs. Let's take another deep breath. You might like to join me in a full reverse plank. Let's take 3 breaths here. And take a seat. Walk your feet nice and wide and drop the upper body forward between the legs. Let's take 3 breaths into our back. Now try to fill your back up with as much air as you can and feel that big stretch in the back. Okay, let's slide those feet right near our hips, so the heels are really close to the hips and we have to pull our tummy in to try and sit up. Take the hands behind you, turn them into fists, pull your tummy in, bring your chest to thighs and lift your hips up. Place the hands on your shins and you can heel toe your feet a little bit wider, hold your elbows chin to chest and move your elbows side to side and your torso. So you want to be feeling the stretch in the lower back and up the side of the spine when you move your elbows and torso from side to side. Have your knees bent so you can really work into the stretch in the lower back. Then place your hands on your shins, breathe in and breathe out, squeezing the buttocks, pulling the tummy up, stacking your vertebrae up one at a time. So you're getting a rounding in your back as you stack, shoulders to ears, roll them back and down. Beautiful. Give yourselves a shake. That's lovely. Now we're going to do a balance. And before we do that, we have a squat. So let's start off with our squat and bring ourselves to a mountain pose. So lifting up nice and tall through the rib cage, shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. Squeeze your buttocks a little, tummy firm, just move your hips forward so your tummy tightens and your thighs firm up. Shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw the arms, the shoulder blades down, reaching your fingers to the floor. Today we're going to rotate our palms, but I want you to feel the shoulder blades flatten on your back and your chest open. So your chest comes forward a little bit, the tummy stays in, chin is tucked in, the neck is lined up with the spine. Let's take 3 big breaths here. Now breathe in, Lift the arms up over the head, link the fingers, turn the hands inside out and reach them up to the ceiling in a Venus lock. Now lengthen through the arms, try to reach up to the ceiling and then looking forward. Lower those arms down, swan dive, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine, pull the tummy up. That's it, and forward fold. Now we're going to toe heel our feet a bit wider into squat position with the heels lined up with the hips, and let's sit down or squat down. Bring your hands together in prayer, then lifting up your spine, pull your tummy in. Now let's link those fingers, turn the hands inside out and reach forward. Shoulders stay down, tummy stays in. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then lifting the arms up. A little bit higher, they will be on a diagonal, and that's okay. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then if you can, let's lift up, right up to the ceiling, and bring the hands back down to the chest in prayer. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, lower the arms down. Let's get the legs to shake. All right, now I'm going to go sideways. And we've got 4 sun salutes. Let's stand up nice and tall, lifting the rib cage up. Squeeze your buttocks firmly. Lift shoulders up, roll them back and downwards. Let's take a deep breath in, sun salute. And swan dive, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine, and forward fold. Take a step back with your right foot, then your left foot into plank. We're going into 8-limb pose, so breathe in, breathe out, knees down to floor, chin and chest to floor. Let's take a deep breath in here. If you can't manage, lay on your front. Flatten your waist down. Cobra. Keep those elbows hugging the sides of your body. Tuck toes under, down dog. Just your down dog and just moving from side to side. That's it, beautiful. Now we're going to crouch, so bend your knees, look between your thumbs. And let's step the right foot forward, lower the back knee down. Flatten the top of the foot, and we're going to lift our shoulders up, roll them back, and palms forward, reach down to the floor. So we're getting a nice stretch in the hip now. We're reaching down to the floor with our fingertips, lifting the chin slightly. Take 3 breaths down to the belly. Place your hands on the floor, tuck the back toes under. Step your back foot next to your front foot, flat back, and forward fold. Deep breath in, sun salute. Let's lift up. And breathe out, hands down to sides. Okay, round 2. Deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and step back with your left foot, then your right foot, plank. Breathe in, breathe out, 8-limb pose. Deep breath in, and out. Flatten the waist down, flatten the tops of feet. Breathe in, cobra. Lengthen through the arms, tuck toes under. Breathe out, down dog. And let's pause here, just keep your dog nice and loose, moving from side to side. And then crouch, bend the knees, look between your thumbs. Use the spring in your hips to step your left foot forward, back knee down. Flatten the top of the foot. Roll the shoulders back and downwards. Rotate those palms forward and reach the floor. Lift the chin slightly. Take 3 big breaths here, right down to the belly. Place your hands down, step your back foot next to your front foot, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and breathe in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Round 3, sun salute. Swan dive, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, forward fold. You can jump or step your feet back one at a time into plank. Breathe in. 8 limb pose, knees, chin and chest to floor. And then take one breath in and breathe out. Flatten the waist down. Cobra. Extend the arms, tuck toes under, down dog. And just a little bit of movement through the shoulders and hips here. And then crouch, look between your thumbs and spring the right foot forward, back knee down. Flatten the foot. This time sweep the arms back. Lift them up and sink in the hips. Okay, beautiful. Stretch the fingers out. Breathe into the belly. Big breaths. Expand your rib cage out as much as you can. One more big breath. And then breathe out. Hands down to floor. Tuck the back toe under. Step next to the front foot. Flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute. Breathe out, hands to sides. Last round. Deep breath in, sun salute. And swan dive, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. And stepping back or jumping back. Make sure you're alternating legs. Breathe in, breathe out to 8 limb pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Flatten your waist down. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, down dog. Let's pause here for 2 or 3 breaths. And then crouch. Spring the left foot forward, back knee down. Flatten the foot. And this time sweep the arms up. Move the hips forward. And reach the arms. Now shoulders stay down as you reach your arms up. Try not to get this shoulder lifting. And let's take 3 breaths here. Now lower the hands down. Tuck the back toes under. Step your back foot in next to your front foot. Flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. And breathe in, sun salute. Palms together and bring hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. All right, let's give ourselves a little shake. And we've got some balances. And we're going to put Warrior 3 and Tree Pose together. So I'm going to stand a little bit forward, just off the mat, so I can make sure I can get my leg behind. Mountain pose, so lifting up the rib cage nice and tall, firm around the waist and the buttocks. Take a deep breath in, sun salute. Reach up and breathe out, hands down to chest. Come into chair pose, pull the tummy in, slide the right foot back. And let's hinge the leg up to hip height if you can. Just keep your toes on the floor if you can't quite do that. Pull the tummy up, draw the shoulders towards hips, point the 5 toes to the floor. Nice firm buttocks. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now let's bring the knee forward. Place the foot on the thigh. If you do need to help your foot go a little higher, that's fine. And let's pause here. Make sure the buttocks is firm, rib cage is lifted. And let's take 3 breaths. Beautiful. Bring the knee forward, give it a little kick. And let's take a deep breath in, reaching up. Breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Now let's do that on the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute, and breathe out, hands down to chest. Come into a small chair pose and roll your left foot forward, tight tummy. Lift your foot and extend it back. Squeeze your buttocks firmly together, 5 toes point to floor, tummy in, shoulders towards hips. Keep nice and strong around the waist. Take 3 breaths here. Now bring your knee forward and place your foot on your thigh. If you need a little helping hand, find that position where you can balance. And let's take 3 breaths here. Now bring the knee forward, a little kick, float the foot down, deep breath in, sun salute, and breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. And let's lower those arms down, give the legs a little shake. Now I'm going to go down to the floor, so come and join me, but try it with feet together. A little bit more challenging. Let's have a go. So mountain pose, let's take a deep breath in, reaching the arms up and breathe out, hands down to chest, pull the tummy in and start to slowly float down into the narrow leg squat. Pull the tummy in and wrap your chest around your knees. Let's take 3 breaths. Right into the back, down to the lower spine. If this is uncomfortable for you, go into a normal squat or come into butterfly pose. Now place your hands on the floor, come onto your toes, and then come down to your knees. So we're sitting in our hero pose. The tops of our feet are stretching. If this is uncomfortable for you, lift up a bit higher and stay in this position. Otherwise, put something, a rolled up towel, behind the back of your knees. So it's between, the towel is between the calf and the back of the thigh. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to twist. So let's take a breath in, lift the hands up. Now remember to draw the shoulders down, lift the rib cage up. You can stack your fingers or just place them on the head. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. Draw your navel in, rotate through the rib cage. Now you probably just go diagonal. Then extend that right arm out, bring it behind, and then turn your head to look at your thumb. 3 breaths. And then bring your hand behind your head and let's come forward. Try that again. So let's bring the arms down, give the shoulders a rest, shoulder roll, and lift the hands back up again. Right, breathe in, breathe out, draw the navel in, rotate through the rib cage just to the diagonal. Then reach your left hand out, bring it behind your body, just as far as it will go. Turn your head to look at your thumb. Let's take 3 breaths here. Place the hand behind the head again and rotate forward. Let's place the hands down. Nice big shoulder roll. And then take a seat. So you can cross your ankles and just sit down, extending your legs. So let's come into a nice V pose. Bring your toes towards you, lifting up the rib cage. And we're going to, first of all, we're going to check those hips. So if your lower back is caving, or your lower back is rounding out and your tummy's caving in, just place your hands, turn them into fists behind your back, push them firmly down, and we can lift the spine up tall. You can even lift your hips up, pull your tummy in, lean forward a bit, and that will give you that extra little stretch to enable you to go forwards. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. Place your hands on the floor, pull the tummy in, let's walk the hands forward. Now, for a lot of you, you're going to find forward bending quite challenging. For some of you, you'll find it quite comfortable to lay flat on your front, so please do that. If you're a little bit tighter in your hips, take the time to just ease yourself gently down, little by little, just giving your body time to settle into the posture. So let's breathe into the back and the belly to help the body settle. Now walk your hands towards your hips. We're going to take our right hand on the shin, rotate the ribs to the left. Lean to the side a little and lift your hand up. You want to keep the chest open, so if you roll forward, you're going to lose the side stretch. So you do want to keep the chest open. Just bring your arm up. This position is a very good position. Otherwise, you can extend the arm forward, perhaps even bend the elbow, or place the hand behind the head. Just open the elbow a little bit more. Just whatever suits you the most. And for some of you, you might be able to reach down to your toe and still maintain that side stretch. So let's take 3 breaths here. And then lifting up, and we're going to, so the hand is here, we're going to take that top arm and thread it underneath the other arm. Take that arm you've lifted behind your back, and we're in a twist. Pull the tummy in. Now your hand can hold the outer edge of the knee, the calf, or the foot. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears, the tummy is in. Let's look behind. Feel that lovely stretch in the side of the body. And then release. Going to the other side, back of hand on shin, rotate the ribs, lift the arm up. Now of course you can just reach up, very comfortable position. Bring the arm forward, make sure the shoulders stay away from the ears, or just bend your elbows to make sure, hand even behind the head. Or you can reach your arm over your head and hold your toe. Take 3 big breaths into the side of your body. And then we're going to take the top hand underneath the bottom hand and take the new top hand behind the back. So finding that position for your hand anywhere along your leg to your foot. Draw the shoulders to hips, pull the tummy in, the other hand behind the back. Let's take 3 breaths here. And release, and we're lifting up again. Okay, wonderful. So let's bring those feet together. I'm going into boat pose, so hands behind the knees. Lift the rib cage up, roll the shoulders back and draw the shoulder blades downwards and flatten them on your back. Tight tummy, lift your feet up. That's it. And if you want to, you can keep your hands behind your knees or extend your arms forward. You're welcome to extend your legs up to the ceiling if you wish. Let's pause for 3 breaths. Okay, let's lower those feet down. And we're going to bring our legs, cross our legs, come forward onto our knees. Now, I shall turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. First of all, we're going to lay on our front. We've got a half locust. So let's rest the hands on the lower back. We're pressing the hips down, squeezing the buttocks together, and we're going to lift the tummy a little bit and lift the chest up. Now reach down a little bit lower with your hands, lift up a little higher if you can. You can even reach your arms toward your hands towards your feet with your hands apart in wide prayer. You can look forward or tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck and feel that lovely, strong back work. Your buttocks should be really firm. Let's take 3 breaths here. Bring your hands under your chest, elbows hugging the sides of your body. Breathe in, cobra, and come into a child's pose. This time we're doing a child's pose with our arms by our sides, forehead down. Let the shoulders hang down, pull the tummy up, and feel that lovely big stretch around the shoulder blades. So let's take 3 breaths here, right into the back. Rolling from the forehead to the very top of the head for hair pose if you'd like to join me. So keep the forehead on the floor, roll up to the very top of the head so the back of the neck is nice and straight. If you'd like to add on a little bit, lift your arms up to wide prayer. Lift your feet up so you're balancing on your head, the top of your head and your knees. Let's take 3 breaths here. You might want to join me in level 3, crane pose. Lower the feet down, line your wrists up with your knees, tuck the toes under, lift the hips. So you can just stay here in this position with your hips lifted and your legs extended. Otherwise you can put your knees on your elbows and bring your feet together. Let's take 3 breaths here. Lower the feet down, lower the knees down, roll from the top of your head to your forehead and stack your fists. Take 3 breaths. Now extend your arms forward, lifting up into a cat and then a down dog. Now, draw the tummy up, lift the hips a bit higher, try to get looseness around your shoulder blades. So you should be able to swing forward and backwards quite comfortably. So shoulders slide them right to your hips to free up your neck, and then bring your chest towards your thighs. This is a beautiful stretch for the legs and for the arms, and a wonderful work for the back and the chest. Let's take 3 big breaths here. Now crouch, bend the knees, step your right foot forward, lower your back heel down. We have a head to knee pose. So we're going to gently work towards straightening the front leg, not locking it, just straightening it. Squeezing the buttocks together, tightening the tummy. Your hands can be on your shins, or you can have them on the floor. Chin to chest, head to knee. Breathe into the back. Now let's walk our hands around sideways, rotate the feet, so pivot the feet so they point forward, and you can heel toe your feet a little wider. Now take your hands, point the fingers underneath your legs and take a walk with the hands. The head can go to the floor or it can be slightly lifted. Your hands are on the floor, palms down, and they're a shoulder width apart. Pull your tummy up, lift your hips a bit higher and put the weight forward in your foot, from your midfoot to your toes. Take 3 big breaths into your back. Now walk your hands forward. Okay, let's bring the arms out to the side, hug the shoulder blades together, pull the tummy up, look directly at the floor. I want to strengthen our back, so let's just pause here for a nice big breath. and then look forward and hinge up. We're going to pivot our feet to face the direction we started in. Bend the front knee, palms down. Make sure you squeeze your buttocks together, your tummy's tight, and you can feel your inner thigh working. Turn your gaze over your front middle finger and check that your knee is lined up with your ankle. Let's stay in Warrior Two for 3 breaths. Now straighten your front leg. Let's breathe in, reach, and triangle down. Shoulders away from ears, squeeze your buttocks together, tummy firm, hips pushing forwards. Take 3 breaths and feel the stretch in the top side of the body. Now lifting up and over. Pivot your feet to face the other direction. We have a triangle, so palms down, reach forward, so push your hips back and windmill your arms into position. Squeeze your buttocks firmly, tummy tight, lengthen through the back of the neck. Make sure your inner thigh is working. Take 3 breaths. Lifting up, bend your front knee, Warrior Two, shoulders are down, ribcage lifted, and turn your gaze over your front middle finger, making sure your buttocks is firm, tummy tight, and shoulders are down. Okay, let's take 3 big breaths here. And turn your feet forward, rotate the palms up, breathe in and breathe out, bending forwards. Just stay in that nice flat back position for a deep breath in and out. Place your hands down. Let's walk the hands forward. We've got wide leg down dog. So pull the tummy up, lift the hips a bit higher and bring your chest towards your thighs. You want to draw your shoulders towards your hips so they're nice and flat on your back. Make sure your mid-back is not pulling up. You need to draw it downwards. Take 3 breaths here. Now walk your hands back under your shoulders and let's walk them towards the left foot. Pivot your feet forward. Bring your back foot a little closer. We're coming into the head to knee pose again. So squeeze your buttocks together, tight tummy. Hands on shin or hands on the floor, chin to chest, crown of head diagonally towards the floor. 3 big breaths into the back. Come back into down dog. Just loosening up nicely into your down dog. We're going to rise up on the balls of the feet, come down to knees. You can cross your ankles and take a seat. All right, we're going to take the hands behind the knees. Breathe in, lifting up, breathe out, draw the waist in, walk the hands down the backs of legs and bring the knees to the chest, just one at a time. Hold the knees and just rock from side to side. Now, if you can, and it's comfortable, lifting your legs up to the ceiling, tighten the tummy. You can hold the backs of the legs, place your arms down, or join me in a shoulder stand. Let's rotate those ankles around. Just one way 3 times, then the other way 3 times. Now take 3 breaths here. Just making sure that the back of the neck is lengthened and shoulder blades are lovely and flat. And we're going to bring the knees down to the nose and bring the hands to the mat, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Placing one foot on the floor, the other ankle on the knee. You can take one hand on the knee and push it away, or you can take the hands behind the opposite thigh and bring that knee towards your chest. You can also bring the hands on the outside of the knee to increase the stretch. Take 3 breaths here. Now change, cross of the legs so we can stretch the other hip. Now this is a wonderful way to loosen up tight muscles. So let's try and keep those hips evenly on the floor. Now do what you did to the other leg, so whatever position you took, take that one again. And then place your feet down. Now we're going to lift one leg up and we're going to extend this leg down. Hold the leg and bring it across. Now I want you to keep both hips on the floor, the other arm out to the side. And I want you to just find that stretch in the hip. You don't have to bring your leg a very long way down. I want you to try and keep both your hips on the floor. Now if you're finding your hip is lifted, you can actually bend the other knee a little bit to help keep it on the floor. Okay, so let's take 3 breaths here. Lift the leg up and let's place it down again, lifting the other leg up and then just bringing it across the body, enough, keeping the hips on the floor and just enough to get that stretch around the hip. So you're not looking at taking it too far. All right, let's take 3 breaths here. Lift your leg up again, place your foot down. Now you can bring your feet as wide as your mat, drop your knees inwards, or take your feet together, drop the knees outwards in a butterfly pose. Let's make sure our shoulder blades are flat by pressing the elbows in the floor, lifting the back up, hug the shoulder blades together, place the back down, place your left hand on your heart centre and right hand on your belly. Lift the head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let's take 3 breaths into the belly. And when you're ready, you can extend your legs. Roll your feet outwards, bend your knees, roll your thighs outwards so we can get nice and comfortably into the hips. The hips are lovely and comfortable. And your palms can be upwards, shoulder blades stay flat. And let's relax. So just take several breaths down to the belly. Let your breath find its own pattern. Now you can stay in a relaxation position for 10, 20 or 30 minutes. Just turn the video off and join me again when you're ready to finish. Otherwise, join me in moving your fingers and toes, breathing down to your belly. And walk your feet to the end position. We're going to roll to our side. And then lift up into a seated position. Resting your hands on knees or in the lap, and then just drop your chin slightly down. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Then lower your hands towards the floor. Deep breath in, sun salute. And breathe out, hands down to chest, thumbs to heart center. Let's breathe down to the belly, into the rib cage, into collarbones and the back, and breathe out. Breathe into your belly, rib cage, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Take another deep breath in at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this video, press like and make a comment. If you'd like to see further updates, press subscribe and you'll be updated regularly. Thank you for joining me.